against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repentant. They hate the fact that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Undoubtedly, the one you call Jesus Christ was a black man. He was melanated. He had hair like wool. He had a deep voice. He was dark-skinned. He wasn't only just a black man. He was a dark-skinned man. He wasn't brown. He wasn't light-skinned. No, Christ was dark. We're talking about Wesley Snipes, dark. So let's make that clear. That's how he's described biblically. I don't know who this character is that they put up, but clearly the Most High God ain't happy with it. What my man Sizzler say? We serve no white God. I'm sorry, he's not white. Christians, I know that you have a hard time accepting this. You have a hard time understanding that Christ is the same image as your sons, as your uncles, as your father, as your grandfather, as the man that you dealt with. Yeah, he came in that same image. His lineage and bloodline is of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He comes through the lineage of David. He was a black man, all right? There's no doubt about it. In some extra biblical text, on record, on file, it even goes into race attributing to his crucifixion. because of the things he was bringing to the world. They even say his race contributed to his crucifixion. Now, let's make that clear. And if you have a problem with that, if you have an issue with that, so be it. But make this clear. Regardless of what your nationality is, your color, kindred, or creed, if you choose not to remember Christ as the scriptures have said, that's on you. You have to take that up with the Lord. But you see how the Lord is dealing with false idols.
Are you children of Israel? We are the biblical Israelites. Let's shine our light on this entire world and let them know that we're not standing for these 2/3 and their evil intentions for us. And we're not falling for the tricks and the charades. It's time that we rise up, honor the law, statutes, and commandments written up in that Bible, and stay on the right direction. Oh man, y'all didn't even let me know we didn't have sound. What's going on, everybody? Peace and blessings to everybody joining the chat. I see Son of Light in the building. Stay true. What is going on? Sent by God is in the building. I see Vision, Wanda Austin, Big Ray. Let me see who else up in here. Hayoka Spirit is in the building. God's Property, Vision Love. Peace and blessings to everybody joining. Y'all know we about to cook. We about to cook. Now, there's been a lot going on in the news. Hold on, let's get everything situated. Hope everybody is feeling blessed today. Hold on, what happened to my backdrop? There we go. We in here. We are in here. Let's see. All right, we got sound. We good. All right, look. I want to talk about Trump ushering martial law in America. Now, before people start saying that I'm being conspiratorial, just for questioning whether or not he's bringing in martial law, I want you to listen to all the evidence that I'm about to present, all right? Listen to what Trump has been saying, all right? This is crazy. When I tell y'all we in them last days, we in them days. When I tell y'all we in those times, it's time to prepare. I was talking about this earlier in the broadcast, that it ain't no time to be playing games. It is no time to play games. The time we in right now is to give your life to the Most High. I'm telling you. All right, what happened here? Why did my design disappear like that? There we go. Now, Trump said something that was rather alarming, y'all. Now, Trump says that dangerous cities should be military training grounds. Military training grounds. Now, I want y'all to hear this.
Federal forces are on the streets of Memphis as the Trump administration ramps up its focus on crime in Democratic-led cities.
I see the guns and bats in this room. You are unleashed. The handcuffs that you're carrying, They're not on you anymore. They're on the criminals.
Attorney General Pam Bondi and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visiting some 200 federal law enforcement officers that have arrived in Memphis. The president had already sent thousands of National Guard troops to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C.
Whether it's the southwest border, whether it was Los Angeles, whether it's Washington, D.C., our department is proud to stand shoulder to shoulder right next to law enforcement while you do your job.
Memphis had the highest violent crime rate in the nation last year, according to data compiled by the FBI, though local leaders insist that crime is down this year.
It's not something that I asked for. It's not something that I thought is the best way to reduce crime.
And after a politically charged speech to military leaders this week,
we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
The president posting the National Guard is now in place in Portland, Oregon. Two defense officials tell NBC News those troops are currently processing and training before they start their mission. Oregon's governor, a Democrat, says the planned deployment could cost taxpayers $10 million over the next 60 days. The state's attorney general and the city of Portland are suing the Trump administration, arguing it's illegal for the military to take part in domestic law enforcement.
The justification for their presence in our cities is either a misunderstanding or a lie.
The federal government now filing its own lawsuit alleging 4 Oregon counties have not cooperated with immigration agents. Willie?
All right, Gabe, thanks very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard was rather daunting. That's troubling. You know, there's been a series of events that has transpired over the last couple of days that we definitely got to discuss. Number one, FBI agent Kash Patel just pulled his support for the ADL. Now, why does that matter? The ADL recently put Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA on the extremist hate group list. They put a whole dossier out online, which I still have the records, by the way. I still have the records, but they removed it because the FBI disassociated themselves, and Elon Musk, along with other strong right-wing conservatives, put the press on the ADL, and ultimately white supremacy bogarted them, right? Now, why is this a problem? Why is this problematic? Some may be asking. Well, when you're placed on the ADL list as a hate group, as an extremist group, that protects the marginalized group of people that they are targeting. Because now you have FBI surveilling these individuals. And now the FBI has said, you know what? No, we're gonna let them do what they're gonna do. They're not a hate group, right? Now, the only people who don't have a hate crime bill is whom? The exact same people that these individuals have a problem and an issue with, allegedly. Now, I want you to think about the only people who don't have a hate crime bill. So instead of surveilling these groypers, instead of surveilling these various chats, these private chats and these groups, now they've been pretty much green lit because nobody's watching them, right? So I wanted to put that out there. Nobody is watching these people. And that's extremely problematic. Now, I want to show you Kash Patel what he said, because to add insult to injury, they're talking about using military as training grounds. Now, we're going to be going to scriptures. We got to go to scriptures today. This one is going to be very eye-opening. You're going to know exactly where we're at in prophecy. I want y'all to definitely tap in, right? Definitely tap in. Now, I want to go somewhere with it. Let me just first off show you Patel stepping out. Sorry about that. Let's get there. And by the way, all of the records that ADL took down, I have every single document. They are saved. I have them. And the stuff that's there is monumental. They tried to scrub the internet, but I have them. And one of these, and I'm going to be referring to those because they deleted thousands of material that is very, very useful. Thousands of pages of material.
The FBI also cut.
And you can really understand how these white supremacy, these alleged white supremacy groups are moving. Where they come from. I mean, the ADL covered it all. But now we see who's in control. We see who's in power because they took it down. They took it down. Now, I want y'all to hear this right here. FBI ends partnership with Anti-Defamation League as Patel calls it political front. Listen to this.
The FBI also cutting ties with an organization that labeled conservatives as radicals. Before he was fired, James Comey had partnered the FBI with the Anti-Defamation League, which has faced growing scrutiny for listing mainstream conservative groups as extremists, including Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. FBI Director Cashapp Patel wrote, James Comey wrote love letters to the ADL and embedded FBI agents with them, a group that ran disgraceful ops spying on Americans. That era is over. This FBI won't partner with political fronts masquerading as watchdogs. This has come one day after the ADL announced it was taking down what it called its glossary of extremism, claiming the list had become, quote, intentionally misrepresented and misused. That glossary has been criticized for the way it characterized Christians and conservatives. The FBI.
Now, when you actually read what was written, the articles that they put out directly from the ADL website that was removed, when you read those articles, you see exactly who they were aiming at. And it wasn't just Christians. It was specifically Christian nationalists. And they put all the records in there of them being suspected white supremacists, as I've been saying all along. But they got bogarted. They got intimidated. I guess Elon Musk's money was too long. Trump's money was too long. And guess what? There was other people that was fighting. Y'all wonder why we got a government shutdown right now. We got a government shutdown because Trump is firing a lot of government officials right at the moment. A couple days ago, the talks was in place about firing these individuals, and now it's happening. That's why they shut down. Hold on. Let me make sure my other mic is in. Mic check, mic check. Y'all hear me? Let me know I'm coming in clear by show of ones. Yep, let me know I'm coming in clear. Let me see, did they freeze my chat here? Let's go. I'm telling you. Now, peep this, though. The reason why the government is shut down right now is because there were certain government officials that was giving some pushback. They were giving some pushback. Okay, I see the ones. Thank y'all. It was certain government officials that don't want to go with this new world order. So guess what? You got to get rid of them. Now, some of these people were in key positions. See, you can't have people giving a totalitarian government any pushback. You can't have that. So what do you have to do? Shut the whole government down. Now, of course, the government gets shut down all the time, people. It gets shut down all the time. But that's the difference this time. Now, I want to, man, listen, if you thought that was enough, I want to go here. In case y'all just joining, Donald Trump, he said that they should consider using, peep this, they should consider using tough cities military training grounds. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind, he changed the Pentagon to the Department of War. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not at war with anybody overseas. Where are the troops located? Right here against their own citizens. That's where the troops are located. Now, there's more. And we're going to go into these scriptures too, man, because we gotta slice and dice this. We got to definitely cook. Let me see here. We got to cook because I got this interesting clip that was sent to me over here on X. Listen to what Trump says.
From within. No difference. Defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within.
He says that we're under invasion from within, from within. Who are they going to war with, people? Who are they going to war with? The United States citizens. He said they're going to war from within. Now, I'm going to tell you, the battle is going to be against, in the long run, the battle is going to be against true believers of the Most High, real followers of the Messiah, not this figment or this fake version that they created. But he said the enemy is going to be from within.
Defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. Defending the home.
They are from invasion from within. So you know who the Department of War is going to war with. United States citizens. Simple as that. You don't need military for that. You need police for that. Why would Trump spend millions of dollars on taking finances from police? Because he did do that. Now, I want to read a scripture for y'all so y'all can understand what's really happening right now, right? Because there's a lot going on. Now I want to read something, Luke 21:12. But because all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, deliver you up to the synagogues and in the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So that's persecution under authority. So when you see all this imprisonment, all these crackdowns, the Lord said that this will happen for his name's sake. That means some of us would be cast into prison for what? Being free thinkers. I'm only keeping it a buck with you so you can understand what's going to happen in the long run with everything you seeing. That people are going to be actually persecuted for being true followers of the Messiah. Those days are coming. Now, no matter how people try to stick their head in the sand, it's coming. It says for his name's sake. That means those who are really believers. See, the scriptures tell the truth. The Most High is not dealing with conformists. He's dealing with people who are bold in Christ, bold in truth. Now, it doesn't give us a timeline to any of this happening. It doesn't give us a timeline. But what it does tell us is it will be a time where your faith will really be tested. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So when you see people folding, trying to acquiesce and capitulate to white supremacy, to the Romans, when you see them folding because of fear of man, you already know they're not kingdom ready. You already know that they're not willing to deal with the persecution that the scriptures speak of. That's why it's important that you be careful who you're around. Listen, it's important that you make sure you're not around toxic people. Now, there's more. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Because the scriptures tell the story. Now, I want you to understand what's happening here. Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark that no man might buy or sell, say if he had the mark. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's total control. That's moving the economy to the digital currency. That will be able to usher in total martial law. Now, I don't know if y'all been seeing what's going on in the UK. Now, first, before we get to that, when it says cause of all, small and great, free and bond, thus for and thus for, that does not mean everyone. It's naming people from all walks of life, because everybody's not going to take the mark of the beast. God's people not. A lot of people going to line up for it at the slightest inconvenience. The same way they did when the you-know-what was here. The same way they did when that you-know-what was here. They lined up after the slightest bit of inconvenience. That's what's going to happen. It says calls. So that means if something is looking a certain way and people don't really look for the real solution, which is to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, build with your people, link in, plug in with the Most High, do the things you're supposed to do, what you need to do. Let the Holy Spirit guide thy steps. Instead of doing that, people going to say, you know what? I seen LeBron James get it. Hate to throw LeBron James under the bus, but I seen all my actors and actresses, the rappers are getting it, because that's how they're going to push this out in America. They're going to use their taskmasters and their celebrities to roll it out in America. But I'm about to show y'all what is become mandatory. Now, notice the word mandatory. Yeah, it won't be forced. What's the first part of the word mandatory? What's the first three letters, y'all? See, that's an unrighteous decree from man. Mandatory. But if you don't have to rely on man, if you're relying on the Heavenly Father, if you're relying on the Most High, you ain't got to worry about man, because you've been moving according to God's will and God's plan. So fear is their biggest weapon. Even the way Trump is flexing, to me, it looks like fear. It looks like he's trying to generate fear within the people. Now, we got to talk about, we got more scriptures, but we got to talk about what's going on in the UK. These mandatory digital IDs, you're not going to be able to work in the UK without them. This is going all over the news. I mean, it is crazy out there. UK residents react to their mandatory digital ID to do what? To work. And they're coming in the auspice of controlling immigration. They're talking about controlling immigration. All right. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Hold on. Let's go there.
Government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we could be we're being tracked every day anyway, through the use of our mobile.
You hear this? The people in the UK sound like they ready for it. They sound like they ready for it. And this is why it's time for God's people to get on the ark. This is the days of Noah. Ladies and gentlemen, people really believe this stuff is a game. Yeah, this guy right here, he's ready for it. And guess what? Here in America, a lot of people are ready for it. A lot of people are ready for it. Let's hear this again because it's mandatory. Remember that word, mandatory. Yeah, people will definitely fall for this. Somebody in the chat says, people really going to fall for this? Yes. They will. The mass majority will.
Simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we could be we're being tracked every day anyway.
Wow. For those joining, you got to hear this. And I'm going to go to some scriptures, but you got to hear this.
ID mandatory. I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things.
Now, what's going on in America right now? They're sending ICE everywhere to do what? Go after people in the auspice of immigration. So it starts off in the United Kingdom. Now it's making its way here. Yeah, this dude is definitely this dude is the devil in the flesh. I'm telling you. But let's listen to what the people have to say.
That are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders.
Let me see. Let's read this comment here. Thank you for the support. Jody Breeze says, Rome failed us due to lack of borders and distrust in the government. Sounds familiar. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Because this is the Roman Empire revamped. And it will be the same. It literally is going to be the same outcome. This is definitely the Roman Empire. America has to fall. In fact, it's prophesied to be the shortest reigning kingdom. Mystery Babylon will be the shortest reigning kingdom. All right. And, you know, we gotta stay grounded throughout this time, fam. I know it feel like a lot of y'all might feel like y'all Noah and people don't want to get on that ark, but you got to stay grounded. You got to stay rooted in truth. Let's go.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, we could be we're being tracked every day anyway, through the use of our mobile phones. I suppose what I think is some people complain about immigration. Some people complain about people complaining about immigration. You know, we all need to do whatever we can to support the government to manage immigration. And identity cards are a way of doing that. It's something people have been calling for a while. And I think it needs to be thought through. I was surprised at the announcement yesterday, which did seem to come out of the blue. I think people need to be prepared for this, but I think ultimately it's the right thing to do.
I just don't see the point of not having them, because we have ID all the time with, driving licenses, often carry our passports around. So yeah, I don't have a problem with them.
I think there are civil liberty concerns about it. I'm kind of worried about.
They are ready for it. And see, and in the UK, there's been a lot going on in the UK. There's been a lot going on with immigration. Yeah, they definitely don't have a sound mind, NG, but they claim they've been doing marches. I know y'all seen those marches, and they look like the Million Man March. The reason why they out there like that is they claiming that the immigrants are raping their women. I mean, they came together. I'm talking about them people was out there million strong. They might have been 1.5 million people in the streets out there. So, when you see these mass gatherings, you already know what the next step is. And what type of mass gathering are we seeing in America? Let me see if y'all paying attention. I'm going to tell y'all anyway if y'all don't know. Turning Point. They got hundreds of chapters, no, thousands of chapters nationwide, colleges and high schools. So what do you think they're doing? They're gathering, and they got the reach, and they got the finances. That's why the ADL had to label them, because hold on, y'all are connected to some janky, sketchy characters. Y'all connected to some sketchy characters. I'm telling you. Yep, that's what it say. That mark of the beast, man, they trying to roll it out. And look, the UK look like they're ahead of everybody when it comes to it.
How that will be enforced, what people will be forced to choose. I wonder how.
Carry our passports around. So yeah, I don't have a problem with them.
I think there are civil liberty concerns about it. I'm kind of worried about how that will be enforced, what people will be forced to choose. I wonder how effective it will be about actually managing it. And I think in the current climate, I think it puts emphasis on the experience of kind of asylum seekers and immigrants and migrants to this country, when often they're just trying to live life and do things and get on like we all are. So I'm not in support of it based on what I've seen so far.
I think in principle it's a good idea. I think the idea of the ID card is in principle a very good idea. I'm hugely concerned about the whole push towards AI and digital, because of course, it's
they don't know it's the mark of the beast. And this is why the Bible talks about being in a strong delusion, where people will believe a lie. They will be given over to a reprobated mind. Listen, do you really believe that they need to implant a chip in your forehead or your hand to keep immigrants out? Think about this. Do they really need what they say they need to keep immigrants out? I would say no. This has to be something of biblical proportion, because it does not make sense. And they're doing it what? So you can work. They said you cannot work in the UK unless you got the mark. What does the Bible say? That ye can't buy or sell, say if he have the mark. It's the mark of the beast. Simple as that. And when the UK doing it, it's coming everywhere soon. You just got to have more. You got to have more manufactured crisis. You got to have more situations that take place in America to desensitize the people a little more. More problem, reaction, solution. Right? But let's go.
We know that there are dangers with holding an enormous amount of people's information digitally. It gets lost, it gets taken, it gets used. We don't know what happens with it, and I think it comes with a huge number of pitfalls. I think it needs to be looked at very, very carefully, because I think there are huge implications. I think there are particular bonuses to it, but I think there are huge implications ethically as well.
Well, we had them. I had one. I mean, I had one in the 50s. So it didn't cause, I was only a child obviously then, but it didn't cause any bother then.
No, I don't agree with anything Starmer does.
Why not?
Because he's no good at his job.
Why are you against the ID cards?
Well, I don't think anything he does is any good.
Probably not the best of ideas. Because, like, with anything digital, everything can be changed, so... Yeah, it's... Like, you look at the way things get hacked, and it's bad enough you can get fake IDs as it is. And with everything online, it just makes things a bit more... less human. Because you don't get the whole thing of, like, you're interacting with someone, instead you're interacting with a machine, so...
These top kind of data protection companies or like these tech firms can't protect people's data. Who's to say that Westminster can do any better? Or Whitehall or whoever it is, just... You know, it's a bit of a concern and like a bit of an infringement.
Yeah, I mean, it's beyond an infringement. I mean, it's straight up a complete imposition, if you ask me. And see, this is the stuff people need to be protesting about in the UK. But see, they primed the people to believe what? Immigration was such a big problem. They primed the people to believe it was such a big problem. Like, hey, y'all want to get rid of this immigration issue. They're coming over here. They raping the women. This is happening. That's happening. Crime is horrible. Look, the UK media kept on pumping that. I don't know if it's true or not because I don't live in the UK. If I have anybody from the UK watching right now, talk to me. But the media was pumping that. And now guess what? The solution is the people are like, hey, I'm ready to accept this chip to solve the problem. That is daunting if you ask me, because they're doing the same thing here in America. Now, I want to read these scriptures, right? Because this is just what's happening right now. In Proverbs 29:2, it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. See, ladies and gentlemen, when there's wicked rulership, there's a lot of grief and a lot of tension. And there's not any peace because of this grief, because of this uncertainty. And because of the tension they're cultivating, they're going to be able to put their military in the streets. Why? Because in austerity measures, people panic. And this is why I consistently talk about this, because we have to remain level-headed. Some of y'all are the only level-headed person in your family. You just don't even know it. It's time to start asking the right questions. It's time to network with the people that you're endeared to and see where they at mentally. See where they at mentally. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of our people are ready. A lot of our people are ready for change. I had an interesting conversation in the barbershop today with the people. You know, sometimes you just got to see where people's mind is at. And I want you to hear this conversation. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and share it, because this is what our people really thinking out here, man. I want y'all to hear the conversation I had, right? It was real brief conversation, just getting the line up, right? And I want y'all to hear what was said. I shared it on Nubreed Universal, but let me go ahead and share this, because everybody was bringing out key points. Everybody was bringing out key points, and this is why we need that togetherness. This is why we need that togetherness. And I want to put on for that shop over there too. So
You can't do that.
But when Charlie Kirk was living, he was disrespecting Martin Luther King.
You're right.
Hold on, you know what I mean?
You can't do that.
But when Charlie Kirk was living, he was disrespecting Martin Luther King.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As you can see, we had the Nubreed Global Truth channel playing in the background.
he don't.
Yep, he was surely disrespecting him, man.
Yeah, I mean, see, I didn't even know Charlie Kirk until after he died, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't know about him. I see.
Most of our people did not know about Kirk until after he died. And listen, barbershop talk is important. And it's because you can really truly see what's going on. Our people didn't know Charlie Kirk until after he died. So what happened? What is the brainwashing technique that got so many people caping, losing their emotions, becoming radical and extreme after his death? See, I wouldn't even talk about Charlie Kirk if I wasn't an educator. So, you know, I used it after Charlie Kirk passed. I used that as an opportunity to really inform our people so they won't fall into that matrix. Because after what happened to Charlie Kirk by the hands of one of his own people, our people's ears was wide open for like what is really happening. Because there's another awakening happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's another awakening taking place. So the brainwashing techniques that they put on our people who are really, there's people crying for Kirk that are usins. He didn't really benefit our community at all. He didn't benefit our community. But anyway, I want y'all to hear this conversation. Thank you. Let me read this super chat first. We're going to cook. Perseverance Chameleon says, I'm from the UK. The immigration problem is being used like a Trojan horse to bring in DIDs. The elders are mostly sheep. EDL is funded by as more for right groups. Wow. That's interesting right there. And see, that's what they do. That's interesting. But let's continue here.
I seen some videos, seen him talking, but I didn't know, who he was.
Right.
So it was just like another dude out there just talking stuff. That's all.
Yeah. That's true.
And and now on social media, look at them, Caucasians over here. You think he bad? Wait till what's his dude's name? What I tell you? What everybody said they waiting on some other dude that you thought he was bad. And
Marlo? Oh, yeah.
Marlo.
Yeah.
That's something. Wait for Marlo.
It's coming back out.
Yeah. It's like, who is Marlo? Right. Nobody know who Marlo is.
Right.
I don't even know you.
We still on that right now. We trying to find out who he is. I guess he's gonna be on the same type wave that he is.
As far as who funded what and did this, hey, listen. When it comes to that, what's going on with them people? Hey, we already seen what happened with that ADL law. All of these people, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna stay out of that because guess what? They let white supremacy win. When they took down putting them people on that list, they let them win. So, hey, just for the record. But anyway, let's continue.
Right. What y'all think about them pulling up, the MAGA people pulling up to the HBCUs?
I asked them what y'all think about those MAGA folks pulling up to the HBCUs. See, I'm trying to test the waters, what our people are thinking here. Now here, listen.
Trying to debate.
I don't seen it already. They wanted one of them colleges. They walked them off.
Ran them off.
Yeah, they ran them off. They didn't do nothing to them. They ran them off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand why they go on there. Like, what you plan on getting some supporters over there or something?
Right.
You ain't gonna get no supporters at no HBCU.
And they wasn't even invited. You know what I'm saying? You got to book those.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand how they got on. Even set up a table.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I think in the AU Center down here, we got to go through some stuff to go ahead and get on there now.
Right.
No, but They wrong for going ahead and showing up to the school, man.
Oh yeah. See, they trying to trigger people.
No, that's all it is.
All that race baiting.
Right. And the interesting part is, a lot of these sellouts, they won't never address the fact that those people came to that college campus unannounced and illegally. They were escorted by the police. Right. Real 80s in the building says, now we can see who is really in control. And it's not, it can't be those people over there, right? That's what I'm saying. People keep talking about they funded this and funded that. I don't think that's who in control. Anytime they shut that list down like that, they shut that list down that the ADL put out, not the list, but the y'all know what I'm talking about, putting them on that group. So we should clearly see that they ain't in control. So people can stop blaming them. Stop blaming them. This is a battle against good and evil. Right? This is a battle against good and evil.
That's all it's for. Go ahead and trigger them, try to see if they can go ahead and get them riled up and see what they're going to do so they have a reason to go ahead and bring more people over there.
Exactly.
But the Israelites stuff like that.
Yeah, I talk that Bible talk, that political talk, that a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
When you go over this, a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You reach a lot of people if you got it like this, man. A lot of people need to go ahead and understand it.
Yeah.
You like breaking down the Bible or something? Or you trying to use what's going on in the Bible, what's happening in the Bible to where we at right now?
You got it. Current events, but breaking it down historically, like what happened back in the day. History repeats itself. That's all.
Yep.
It's just the same thing over and over. Yep.
There's a lot more people waiting.
And history is truly repeating. It's truly repeating itself, man. And listen what the brother about to say. Listen to what the brother about to say.
What's going on right now, this is that year of the Great Awakening.
Yeah, we got speaking, man.
I mean, that's why we trying to tell people. That's like, shoot, who else could you be talking about? Everybody else know where they come from, this, that, the third. How is it that we are the only ones that don't really have our history? So we have to be those chosen ones.
We got to be the chosen ones. The brother said, look, how is it that we the only ones who ain't got our history? We got to be the chosen ones. That's a fact.
We gotta be.
Because there's nobody else holding that position but us.
And you know what? That's my real disagreement with Tommy is.
Now I brung up Tommy because Tommy Sotomayor always frequents this barbershop. And he streamed from this barbershop as well. And, he comes in there quite often.
How they always picking out all of the degeneracy among our people. You know how.
Now, in case you don't know who Tommy Sotomayor is, he's pretty much this, he be bojangling a lot, but he be exploiting black women pretty much. He be exploiting the degeneracy. He's another one that got a black degeneracy kink. Even though he's attributed a lot to YouTube and these spaces, he still nonetheless is on the other side.
They always showing our people acting wild or women acting wild. They hand pick.
Always highlight the negativity.
It's like a kink, I call it a black degeneracy kink, where you just picking out people just to exploit them, and you know what I'm saying? Nah, listen, people. Whatever, if you was to do that with Asian people every day, you're gonna find their degenerates, and you're gonna be able to exploit that on World Star and Shade Room and Twitter. You can always find that.
You can find that in any race.
Yeah, you got people dumpster diving for material to try to push an agenda on, on us.
I mean, they already got one. We don't need to add to it.
Yeah.
I
look at them as Sambos and raccoons personally, but that's just how I look at it. They just trying to get. I mean, I get it. You gotta get your money, but there's other ways. All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money, for real.
But we got to start doing that to ourselves. That's all.
That's right. All money ain't good money. You know, people got to sell out to get, to get their attention, to get their likes, views, all for a paycheck. It's a bad look. And that's what Tommy did. And ultimately, he got removed off of YouTube. Why? For his black degeneracy kink exploiting our people, he got removed. Somebody said, "What's up?" It's a baby. Yeah, it's my this little man right here. But listen,
yeah, that's real talk.
It's just like I hate when I hear people sit there and say we'll never come together. Don't say that. Because you speak that to existence.
Right. When people say we'll never come together, you speaking that to existence. Know what I'm saying? When people say, "Oh, black folks ain't gonna never come together," like you part of the problem. See, those are the people who are about divide and conquer. Those people who are always talking about they ain't gonna never come together. Hey, you part of the problem. You're divisive. People who talk like that, a lot of times they cause division and separation. Yeah.
The words are powerful, man.
Words are very powerful.
Yeah. They even sending them people to the white neighborhoods now, the military and all that. It start off with us, but you know.
I mean,
they just want control.
Yeah, when they push the New World Order, it ain't about black and white.
Exactly. You hear what she said? When they push the New World Order, it ain't about black and white. And I told y'all that from the beginning. When they start coming in Chicago, when they start coming to DC, what did I say? I said, look, y'all, them racists, they were talking a lot. They would say, good, go get them, round them up. Now look where they at. Let me see here. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support. You know, word on the streets is I got over 200,000 subscribers and I get the least support, but I see y'all showing love. I appreciate it.
She know.
Yeah.
She know.
That's where we at. That's how we gonna get. That's why the military getting pushed out into the neighborhoods now.
Exactly.
You know, what do you call it? You had it on one of your what's the name of that thing? Not New World Order. We going that way. But for the military to really take over, it's called something. You had it up there.
Martial law.
Martial law.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep, that martial law.
That has to take effect before all that happens. So it's all about how far we gonna let them take us before we do anything.
That's real talk.
That's when we let them go through with it. And martial law, we put in effect easy.
Yep, because we living in a time now. You got military in 4 or 5 states, like just policing. That ain't even normal. You know what I mean?
Now you can't be in truth and you think it's normal for the National Guards. You can't be in truth if you really believe that it's absolutely normal for these people to be out here policing our communities like that. You can't think that's normal. You got to be in a sunken place to believe that makes sense. Babylon is falling. A land divided cannot stand. You hear that, man? Tell them the land divided cannot stand. Let him talk to him, man. See, he need to be around this. He need to know right now. He need to know this truth and be able to teach this truth too. That's right.
Ain't normal at all.
Yep. Yep.
So, if martial law, what is the game plan for your household? I'm saying like that. What would you do?
Well, see, I really respect what that brother just asked me. He said, so what's the plan for your household? Now, you know why that's so important, what he just asked me? Because it's like, yeah, you talk that talk, bro. He's like, I hear you online, you talking that talk, and you bringing up the truth, but you know, what's the solution? And that's what our people are looking for. Like, yeah, we all know this stuff. Our people know everything that's going on, man. They know, but it's like, all right, what's the solution though? What's the solution? And I respect that question. Now, I'm not saying I have the solution, but I have some solution, right? Ain't that right, man?
I'm a trustee on some land over there in North Carolina.
See, we got some land in North Carolina, over 100 acres to be exact.
It's over 100 acres. It ain't just for me. You know, it's for my people, whoever we network with. And on my platform, I'm always telling people, look, whoever you got in your circle, invest in some land. You know what I'm saying? Link up with them people and start some farms, agriculture. That's how our people naturally are. We're supposed to be the agricultural people. And we're supposed to be more self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Even during slavery times, we knew how to till soil and do the crops. We knew how to do all of that. But you know, now we spoiled to the point where if they was to shut these grocery stores down, guess what? We dependent.
And Noble Drew, I think he said they're gonna close their storehouses.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be able to get in them.
That's real talk.
That's right. So we're not just talking. We're not just talking. And she's right. Noble Drew Ali said the same thing. And I've studied Noble Drew Ali. And listen, everything that's said is just the truth. And ain't nothing we can do to change the truth. Let's go.
Real talk. And so, yeah, we got a land initiative. It's called UP Farms. And yeah, that's what we doing. You know what I mean? Just bringing people together. We done already had a few events on the land, did some camping retreats, camping events.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had about 100 people come out there.
The crazy part is that you said camping. That's where we need to start.
Yep.
Camping, you put everybody together.
What I'm saying is you
Real
start
talk.
camping, you start learning what's going on outside in nature or whatever. You know, when you start using.
Exactly. You start learning on what's going on in nature, and you able to really, you know, connect with the Most High, connect with your people. You know, listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but we bring over 100 of our people out there camping. So, you know, my platform is solution-based. We're not just in here talking about problems. We're talking about actually networking, actually coming together, actually doing something that's tangible that we can do. Right? Let's go.
Yeah, read the signs of the birds, all the whole thing about the animals. The
Animals
whole
gonna speak. They gonna speak to you, not verbally, but they definitely gonna speak.
All you gotta do is watch them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's what it says in the Bible, man. Pay attention to the animals once they start tripping. You know what I mean? Acting weird or different.
Real talk.
For real, brother. Animals gonna speak to us.
Yeah. That's real talk.
But everybody needs to start going camping. I don't care what you say. Everybody needs to go ahead and camp.
Yep. Survival skills.
Because you got to understand what you need to learn to use while you're out there. Like, okay, if I'm stuck out here, how can I start a fire?
It's like it's like that you gotta learn all that stuff because like for instance, bro, right here you talk about how you got a farm and all that stuff for his family and everything. Like, let's say you know you got to go to poppers or something, y'all go under y'all bunker and y'all make it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come out. Now y'all got a nice.
And you know what? In Feast of Tabernacles, we supposed to be out here camping anyway, y'all. And just to be able to put this message out today is a blessing from the Most High. Because around this time, we supposed to really be talking about this stuff. We supposed to be intact with our culture. Yep. In order to have that dominion over the animals, right? That's right. Even the animals have become domesticated, right? But what happens when you got grown men who become so domesticated, they don't have no more fight in them? What happens when you got grown men who become so domesticated, so reliant on this system that they become an enemy of anybody who's speaking the way we speaking? Anybody who talking the way we talking, they become an enemy to that. Man, you over here blowing the joint up, man. Yeah, we almost done though, y'all. This man over here blowing up the spot.
Guys, to start over thing. You feel me? You ain't got everything you used to have. You feel what I'm saying? So like you gotta have that survival stuff.
Yeah, when you ain't got stuff you used to having. We do, you know, some of the people online, they ain't know y'all didn't have this and have that. That's what camping's about. So you can connect with the people and connect with the Most High. Ain't that right, man? You say you got to connect with the people and you got to connect with the Most High, right? So, yeah. Right. Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Have a bug out bag?
Gotta have that bug out bag. All that.
What's that? I don't even know what that
Bug out bag is one of them bags you grab when something pop off. You got to go ahead and be able to just walk out the house, whatever you got to do to go dip, and you got everything you need in your bag. Just you know what I'm saying? That basic, you know what I'm saying, basic stuff you need. Like
stuff that's gonna keep you alive.
Yeah.
Shit that's gonna keep you alive or help you get through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just for a little while. They ain't gonna sit there and last forever, but the tools you have in there can help you.
I feel like everybody should be buying like you know that all the food they used to have in the
MREs.
MREs, yeah. I feel like a lot of people need to have tons of that stuff.
Right.
Really.
Yeah, I remember a couple years ago, Bill Gates was trying to buy up all this land. So they preparing for something, you know what I mean? Like, what y'all buying all the land up for?
You feel me? That's crazy,
Yeah.
That's talking to everybody like, all right, something's about to happen unless you're trying to build a, you know, a big community out there, son. I don't know, but that's crazy.
Right.
Buying all that damn land for what? And then, you know, and then you gotta think about it too. Elon, he over there trying to get Mars. I don't know if he bought it yet, but he over there trying to get Mars for what? You trying to, when it's time to go, what you trying to do? Be up there and watch us all die? You feel me? Like,
yep.
That's how
our people hip, man. They know exactly what these devils is doing.
I feel like, man, what the hell you got all this money buying that shit for?
If you go to the firm bank, they'll show you how they're trying to make it inhabitable.
To live up there, right? Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So like, this man is doing all this stuff. Why? Like, I know, man. Listen, bro. Why is you finna invest all that money into outer space?
Right.
There's got to be a reason, bro. You feel me? They ain't no just because he want to do it because he got money, man. Hell no.
Right. And you know what? That Bible say that they'll try to make their nest in the stars, but he gonna bring them down too.
Yeah.
You can't hide from God, bro. I don't care how much money you got. They got underground cities. They got, I mean, $1 trillion cities.
People don't even understand.
They got
underground
that.
cities.
They're out there.
Yeah. You can fact check it. They here.
They definitely out there. That's the crazy thing about it. Why is there underground stuff that we can't even get to? It's because of that reason, bro. Let's go. Something gonna happen.
Have that money.
Something gonna happen, bro.
Exactly. But y'all know, see this, and this is just nothing but the truth. This is just the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And I say all that to say this, man. We know a direction to go. Our people know what direction we need to go. And we got to start gravitating towards that. We got to start cleaving to the Creator, spending more time in nature, spending time around God-fearing people, the Most High's people, and building iron sharpen iron. So I just thought I'd share that conversation with y'all in case y'all think when I be bringing forth this material about martial law that we're not talking, that we're not just being one of these fear mongerers who don't really see what's going on. No, we are the modern day Noahs of our generation. All of y'all who can see. So look, peace and blessings to y'all. Y'all be blessed. I'll come through with some more material. All right, say bye, man. Love.